Hey guys, before we get into the review, I just want to give you guys a quick shout out to one of my videos. I just did a video about Kabuto, and that's just fitting because this whole chapter has to deal with him. And you guys should totally check it out. It is Will Kabuto Die Soon? Where we talk about some of the theories about what could be happening in some of the coming chapters of Naruto. You guys need to make sure and check that out in an annotation up top. What's going on, guys? It's Corey and Christian from SuperKamiGuru9000, and the flashbacks are finally over. We get back to the big battle between Kabuto and the Uchiha brothers in our review of Naruto, chapter 585.
With Kabuto saying something that we already knew, he's envious of the Uchiha powers and he wants them all himself. Itachi's quick to shut him down and say, hey man, it's just a name. It's just the history of our clan and a group of people. It's really no big deal. Actually, it does mean something, man.
It means something to me.
Sasuke cuts in and he's like, hey man, the Uchiha clan kind of means something to me. I've kind of been killing everyone in the name.
No, adults are talking.
Sorry, I'll just let the big people talk. Sasuke's like, hey man, remember Izanami? That was kind of a big deal like 5 chapters ago before we got into Flashback Fest.
While Itachi is getting ready to do the Izanami technique and they continue having their little idealism battle, this is when things start to really pick up and we can see that Kabuto is getting ready to go on the offensive, and he uses some really cool techniques this week. Now, we've known that he can use the Edo Tensei, and that's because he's had the DNA of all these other past ninja, but now he's using their DNA to another degree. We actually get to see the return of the Sound 5 this week in a really nutty way. Basically, Kabuto can have their bodies just explode out of him, and he can use their techniques at whim, and you get to see all of them show off at least once. You got Jirobu, who's the big super strong guy. You got Sakon and Ukon, the 2 brothers. You got Kidomaru, who really showed off this week when he used his giant web technique and shot that shit all over the place. And then you got Kimimaru, who was just awesome. He used his bone techniques where all the bones shoot up out of the ground. But one thing that I thought was really cool here, Kimimaru, he immediately starts to transform into one of the other members, and you can actually see he has the bone coming out of his hand. He actually snaps the bone off and uses that as a flute. Insert penis pun here. That's Tayuya, and she gets to use her signature techniques and uses her genjutsu technique. When you hear it, you get caught in it, and she actually catches both Sasuke and Itachi in a genjutsu, and I just gotta say, it's pretty satisfying to see Itachi and Sasuke get, oh shit, did we get caught in a genjutsu?
This isn't very fun.
It was satisfying.
Kabuto is quick to say, Orochimaru's in my belly! And then the snake comes out, and it's him in his white snake form, and he just shoots at the Uchiha brothers. They need to break that genjutsu, so what do? They cast genjutsus on each other, and they go in their little genjutsu world and break all the snakes off. They end up activating their Susanas after they're free, and they stab the Orochimaru head of the snake, and they're pretty much about to win. But before they can win, Kabuto bursts out of the mouth, because we all know they love the snake, the dude coming out of the snake mouth, and ends up cutting Itachi in half. But before this can actually happen, there was a little bit more talk no jutsu, and it's pretty much Itachi saying, hey man, you shouldn't chase other people's dreams. Only noobs imitate everyone. You know, everyone imitates a little bit at the beginning, but you have to develop your own style, your own technique, and you're just using everyone else's powers. You're not even becoming anyone special right now. You're bound to fail. After Itachi is cut in half by Kabuto, he says, hey man, you wouldn't understand. You're part of the elite 1% Uchiha, and I am the 99. So what did Super Kami Guru think of Naruto chapter 585? Well, thank God we're done with the flashbacks, let's bring on the modern things that are happening in Naruto right now. We're actually getting to see this fight progress, and I'm happy because even though this chapter ended with, Itachi getting cut in half and Kabuto looking like he's getting the upper hand, I still think they're fighting at 50%? They're not 100% trying yet. We haven't even seen Izanami. We've just heard, I'm getting it ready, which means it's probably a 3-chapter preparation sort of jutsu. It's one of those jutsus. And I was really excited reading this whole chapter, even though it seems a little short. I think 14 pages is a little short. Usually it's 18 or something.
I agree. I definitely enjoyed this chapter. I'm glad that the flashbacks are finally over. That's not to say that the flashbacks were bad, but I was just ready to get back to that raw action that we all love so much. And a lot of new techniques were shown this week by Kabuto, all of which were really cool. If there's one thing I want to say, the artwork was very nice this week. All the Sound 5 got to show off, do all their signature techniques, and it's good to see them because I was kind of expecting them to be Edo Tenseis in the war, and they weren't. And getting to see them show up through Kabuto is pretty cool, and getting to see Orochimaru in his freaky snake form again, that was really cool. And like Christian was saying, Itachi is building up his Izanami technique. It's one of those special techniques that, you have to have time to build up. It's a spirit bomb. And that's why also I believe that even though, Kabuto got that good hit at the end of the chapter, Itachi's probably going to live through this. They're the Uchihas. He's an immortal zombie. I'm sure he has some other secret technique up his sleeve. Not that, Sasuke's right there, too. He's not just going to watch that. So, it could be a red herring. Anything could happen at this point. But the action this week was really, really solid. And I think Kabuto definitely performed. And he's showing some really cool techniques. And I still doubt that he's even showing the most of what he can do.
So for rating this chapter, we're going to drop a 9 out of 10 because we know the fighting can get bigger and better, but this was an awesome chapter and it deserves a 9 out of 10. Okay, so for SuperKamiGuru9000's question of the week on this Naruto chapter, I want to ask you guys, what do you think is going to happen to Itachi next chapter?
And my question is a little more simpler. What do you think about the fight so far? Are you enjoying it? You can let us know with your comments below.
Until next time, SuperKamiGuru9000, out.